Miss Jess from Jessica's Art Studio, and today I'm going to show you guys a tiny mini painting for my painting art kit. So the things that you're going to need today for this painting are your little tiny canvas, right? It's a little tiny square. It's so cute. We're also going to need our paintbrushes today. I'm going to use a variety of brushes. Since this is a fairly small canvas, the brushes that I'm going to use today are probably some of the smaller ones. I have a little flathead brush and then also one of the rounded pointier brushes today as well. The paints, go ahead and get out your acrylic paints for this project. Your little containers look like this. Today I'm going to use all three of my primary colors as well as white and black because I'm going to do a bunch of color mixing today for this project. So this project is sort of two steps today. The first part is going to be painting our abstract shapes onto the canvas, letting them dry, and then we're going to actually go back in once it's totally dry with Sharpie and add some details to this. Kind of just makes it look a little bit more interesting. For example, the Sharpie part that I did were these lines on top of my orange circles, and then I also added some dimension to my little yellow dashes here, and I defined my like green bubbles a little bit more too. Okay, but that'll be our very last step. So you can kind of see my palette here. If you want today, you can use your palette knife. I was using this earlier to disperse my paint from my little containers into my palette. Or if you want to paint with your palette knife today, that's totally an option, okay? I also have some paper towels, obviously, and a container of water to rinse my brush today. So I'm thinking about layers for this project, right? As you can see on this one, I started by adding a long black streak, kind of covering up half of my canvas, just to kind of break up the composition a little bit, right? Since it's so small. Totally optional. I think what I want to do today, I'm kind of going to go that route. I'm really obsessed with this coral color right now, so I'm actually going to start by mixing up my own coral color. Okay, so I'm going to start by picking up a little bit of white, and I'm going to pick a new spot to mix my coral color over here. Take a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. If you want to, you guys can be rinsing your brush in between each of these colors. I just get a little bit lazy, so mixing it all up here. Yes, do love this color. However, I need more of it, so I'm going to take another big scoop of white here, mix it in. And then I'm ready to go. Half the fun of this project is mixing up your own paint colors. So kind of think back to your color theory days and what colors mix together to make new colors, right? If you're not sure, there's tons of references online you guys can use. So I've got this really nice peachy coral color, salmon color. And I'm just going to spread it out however you want to do this today. Think about all the different kinds of designs you guys know, right? Squiggles, zigzags, loop-de-loops, circles, squares, diamonds, stars. We could do anything on this, okay? A big piece of advice for this project today is when you paint your layers on, spread them out nice and thin. They're going to dry so much faster that way, and you can always layer up your paints once your first layer is dry. Cool. I think I like it. I think I'm going to do something a little different and actually add another little blob over here. Okay. Awesome. Now rinse my brush off really good. I want to mix up like a turquoise color for this next. So I'm going to start again with some white as my base. Dry my brush off because these paints don't need any extra water. Take a nice big scoop of, oops, I don't want to start with blue. No! Rinse, 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 rinse. Dry it off again. Round two. Take a little bit of white. Start a new pile. I'm going to add some yellow and some blue. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up. I'm guessing I'm going to get kind of a light green color. Yep. Not disappointed with that color. However, I'm going to add a little bit more blue. Maybe just a little bit more. Ooh, I think I like this. Cool. This part is still a little bit wet, So I'm gonna see how this goes here and layering it over. If I find that my paints are blending a little bit too much, I might have to give it like a 5-minute count just to kind of let it chill for a little bit so that my paint, instead of blending, will sit right on top of it. Ooh, I like how these two colors interact though. And get a little bit more paint as soon as it starts to look like it's getting dry. This is fun. I think I want lines coming out. I like it. Rinse your brush off. Go ahead and mix another color. I think I want to do, you know what though? My paint is looking still pretty wet. What I'm gonna do is give this a 5 count, let it dry for a little bit, and then add some layers on top of this. So anything goes with this project, you guys. Have fun mixing up colors. I'll do a little time lapse over the next couple of layers that I'm gonna add so you can kind of see my process. And then once it's all totally dry, we'll go back in with Sharpie. All right, you guys, so my layers of paint are totally dry, basically totally dry, and I'm gonna take my Sharpie now and add some details to it. This is going to just enhance the sort of organic shapes that I've already added by giving a little bit of contrast, a little bit of black that makes it pop. This step is optional. If you don't have a black Sharpie, feel free to use your black paint. That would work too with a really skinny paintbrush. So it's up to you. Thinking about my design here, I'm just gonna dive right in, right? Think about all the different patterns you know, or Zentangles you know. There's a lot of references online for different patterns and things that you guys can do too. Highly recommend checking out some of those. And I'm just making this up right now, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Shapes that I like. Maybe okay, I think I want to do circles here. Ooh, okay, I have a couple last details. Couple final touches. All right, so this turned out really awesome. I'll hold it up here so you guys can see, but you can do anything you want to, right? This one turned out completely different than my first one, right? So it's completely up to you how you want to do your painting today. Have fun mixing your colors, coming up with shapes. Don't think about any specific theme or subject. Keep it totally abstract. Have fun getting lost in this project, you guys.